first lady of DMW, and I mean, it's not easy, I beg. Go shake my hand, please. Let me talk. Princess, the queen herself.
Being on like a pop label.
David, I feel like he understands the business. As for the only girl, yes. They be extra with me. Shout out to Zaki Amujei. Liya, I hear the sound. Ancient yet modern sound in your voice. You need to own it. Right. You want to be versatile. You want to evolve. You want to move from, what they've heard on Alari. I want to give them something different. I want to give them more. Some days you don't feel like being online on Instagram. Never forget to give your own self accolades because it's not easy.
Definitely.
Especially in Lagos, Nigeria. Hey guys, it's your girl Liya and you're tuned into The Wave, Afropop's most essential show. Keep it locked.
Hello and welcome to The Wave, Afropop's most essential show. My name is Djaji Prime.
This is the Bamy.
And my name is Liya.
Yes, we have Liya in the house. First time ever with a guest.
Yeah, so like as we always say, we're always giving you guys like the insight, the analysis, the best music, and of course the best types of conversations. And I think it's quite befitting that we have Liya as our first guest, someone who has been pushing boundaries in her own way, has been challenging the mainstream of what Afropop is, and has really been shaking up the industry over the past couple of years. So Liya, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Enjoying herself. It's been how many months now since the release of Alari? Maybe 9. You've been performing everywhere. How does it feel to have a project out and then see fans react to that project?
It feels good. It feels so good. Plus, how I came in with Alari, I wasn't expecting the reception. I was a little bit nervous on how people would take it. You know, this music business can be very tricky. You don't know what people like. Are you dropping it at the perfect time? Are you doing the right thing? But the reception towards Alari has been super amazing. Bless God.
I'm among the streamers. It was on rotation steady in our house.
You.
So, Alari EP, I heard you talking about how, for you, just, it's basically like your way of saying you're unique. This is who I am. I'm different. And it sounds very different, from the vocal application, even down to how, like, you sing, everything. So what would you say it's entirely meant for you, like, that moment? It's like, oh yeah, this is an artist that we're just getting used to. So what were you feeling, in that EP? What were the feelings you were expressing generally in that EP?
I was expressing anger, frustration, happiness, being grateful. Gratitude is like very important, regardless. There's when you feel like you're doing it right, there's when you feel like you're doing it wrong. Just be grateful to God. I was feeling, but yeah, self-love, self-care, self-dedication. This is where you really have to like pat yourself on the back, like, okay, I'm proud to be here. I'm proud of my growth. I'm proud of the process. So it's basically about, I was just expressing
yourself.
Yes.
Self-gratitude, right? Adua, you have the remix with Simi.
Yeah.
I think that song seems very special to you.
Yes, it does.
Because the video itself is there's a story
cinematic,
there. Cinematic. Whose stories were you telling? Because there were so many stories there, so many but the main thing is be proud of yourself. You've come this far, and there might be highs and lows. So what were you going through? It seemed like there was so much happening. And
how I write songs, or how I come about writing songs, I write songs based on how I feel, or what I've heard, or what I see people go through, my environment, my friends' friends. Right. You hear stories every day. You could just be in a bar, somebody be exclaiming about how their husband's sister, in-law, whatever. So I was just seeing it from every direction, every angle.
Was it difficult to write, was it just a rush of inspiration?
Yeah, I
was inspired. When I do songs from within me, from the depth of my heart, most of the time actually, it comes easy. And in my head, I'm not thinking about, I have to write 16 bars or I have to write 8 bars. In my head, I'm just about, I just want to express myself in this music. That's what happened with Alari too. I was just expressing myself, telling how I feel, or how I have seen somebody feel,
Right.
or how I'm feeling at the moment, or how I'm not even trying so hard to be relatable, because I know that somebody somewhere is feeling me,
Right.
feels how I feel, but they don't really know how to put it in words or express themselves.
So it wasn't a case of, oh yeah, I'm signed now, you know, they need an EP from me. I need to put out like
no,
5
it was just
songs,
me doing
you know.
how I feel. Like I was just being myself. I was just
Right.
putting myself
So, you
out
know,
there.
it's like how every human, we have different eras, different phases. You know, that was the Alari era and everything. Where would you say you are now? You know, what's to come? Because I see that you've been cooking. Oh, you just want to serve us. So
I'm
what's
so
up?
sorry. I'm serving you people soon. I promise. I promise. Everybody's been on my
Is
neck.
soon or
Like
still?
soon, like Rihanna
soon.
soon.
Like next month soon.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yes.
Heard it here
I'm
first.
just putting
Big
things in
scoop.
place. So
Okay.
yes, I promise. The next Alari Liya face. I bet people won't see this one coming. It's more,
Interesting.
yeah.
So you're still
So a different side of
experimenting.
you.
Yes, I feel like there's more to people than what we see, you know.
Right.
Their
But-
faces, their chapters, they're like a lot of stuff.
Are you at all scared? Like, you know, you're a pop star, right? And the Nigerian pop scene generally has a sound. And
And
you know,
their
you're one of the
formulas.
biggest labels in Nigeria. So how has it been, you know, experimenting, being yourself, whilst you at all care about what the market wants or what the fans want? Or is it just like, I'm making what I want and people will
I'm making
gravitate?
what I want, and I listen to my fans too. I
Right.
listen to the audience. It goes both ways. Sometimes I really don't listen to them, but sometimes I put them into consideration, you know. I think that's where versatility comes in.
Right.
You want to be versatile, you want to evolve, you want to move from, oh, what they've heard on Alari, I want to give them something different, I want to give them more.
Right.
So this next project is, you know, it's deeper, it's sexual, it's, you know, about women or men, owning your sexuality, loving yourself, being naughty, being yourself. And, you know, it's
Interesting.
about fun, it's about to go down.
Yeah.
I mean, you've had a crazy year, so I imagine you'll be packing all
Yes.
of those experiences
I'm
in
packing
there.
them, yes.
Bamy has something.
Yeah, for me, you're clearly like a really interesting artist. I mean, is there, other than, you know, the platform you have, there's a way that you're able to express yourself and show us who you are. But at the same time, it's just like we perceive you. We can't necessarily say, oh, this is who Liya is. So who would you say, you know, Liya, the artist, is? You know, who do you make music for? And how would you describe yourself?
Very interesting question.
Is it really hard saying who you are? Like describing yourself?
It's not hard.
Just the right word.
Yes, the right words. Liya is...
If you ask me, I'll be like you're like a Yoruba singing fairy. I
Ah!
swear, like very new age, but you know, also
Yes.
with the shit.
Yes,
And it's just like a really
ancient.
sweet mix of like, you know, the now
Modern
and
and
then.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. But there's more.
Yeah.
I think the next project would, like, you know, give everybody the right answer. Because in my head, I'm like, I don't want to answer this question for everybody.
Don't give us spoilers.
Yes, and it's best regardless. People would always have their own opinion of you or about you, which is really cool. So I just leave it for the next stuff that be out.
You know, you're very active on social media, very active on TikTok. How are you using that to cater to your fans? How are you using social media to kind of interact with your fans?
I think social
and
media-
is it stressful?
Yeah.
Social media is like the thing now. It's like anybody can hit it on social media. You just go on there, do your crazy or your normal self, and people just like it. Anything can pop or happen on social media. It can be a little bit stressful because some days you don't even feel like being online on Instagram or on Twitter or on TikTok. But that's why you actually need people around you, people that can help you with stuff.
And hit the
Exactly,
gym
yes. Yes.
to relieve some to punch them
stress.
back. Well, let's talk about you at the gym. So like what's the like, if you were to give your fans like a routine that you feel would do it for them to help them achieve like that summer body, because we're getting close to summer over
yes,
here.
please.
Like what would that be?
I need to.
I do a lot of cardio.
Oh, okay.
I could go 1 hour, 2 hours on very high speed.
Do you lift?
Yeah, I do.
How much do you bench? You probably bench more than me.
I've been doing, maybe I've been doing 30 kg though.
Mad.
Right?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I did dumbbells.
Flex on it.
I mean, like
Flex on
the
it.
vocals, you're flexing.
Right?
You're flexing.
And while doing it, I try to like sing or do the shout out to Duni. She's a producer for
Shout
the
out to
singer.
Duni.
She began with this little trick because lately we've been working out together. I'd be like, oh, why you do you try to do re, mi, fa, sol, la. We were doing it on every note. And that's been very helpful because I see improvement in my singing, my sustaining, my energy and the strength. Yeah, it
I
really
know,
helps.
speaking of this, you're actually such a vocalist, and it's sort of rare in like the type of music we have now. It's
Thank
like,
you.
So, like, how did you find yourself, you know, like the type of music you wanted to make? And now you're even telling us about like things you do to improve your singing. But before this stage, how did you find yourself, you know, this type of music I want to make, this is how I want to use my voice?
I think I started singing at like the age of 7. I'm a Muslim. We did a little bit of music classes in Arabic school. I go to school, normal school hours, and I have Arabic classes. We call our music classes mahfuza. What they just teach us? Oh, they teach us histories about Muhammad and Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Are you Muslim?
Depends on the day.
They tell us histories about Muhammad, the kind of song that was like song like back then, how they celebrated him, how he was welcomed. It was sweet. Then behind my house, there was like a celestial church. I think subconsciously, I was speaking of the Arabic school and the Mahfuza, and I was picking up that thing because the church too. They always having night vigils, always chanting. It was too beautiful.
So is that where
I think that was how
that
everything like
vocalization,
this
right?
began.
Alari, and I was going to ask
Like,
if
I feel like it just came from, I had no idea until like last year, and I sat down to think, where did I actually get this sound from? Because people were like, oh, are you a Christian? You sound celestial.
It sounds
Thinking,
very
okay, I remember.
You know,
Remember
I
that
had a
church?
theory that Zaki Amujei, your producer, is a celeb person
By
because
the
of
way,
how.
she
But he's
always
a
talks
church
about
boy.
him.
He's a
She's
church
always
boy.
talking about Zach. So
Nah,
I feel like
actually-
now that we have you here, hopefully we can get Zach
Zach
on the
actually
show.
helped me find myself.
Right.
Yeah, so let's talk
Yeah.
about your relationship
Let's
with
talk
him,
about
you
that.
know. What's it been like working with him, and how did it even happen? What was the origin story?
First it was on Instagram. Then I was in school, Unilor. And Zaki was like, oh, you sound really amazing. When you come back to Lagos, I was rounding up in Ilori. And like, oh, when I get back to Lagos, I'll text you. Then first time, made a nice song. And it was like, oh, Liya, I hear this sound, this ancient yet modern sound in your voice. You need to own it. And in my head, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, though. I'm just singing. Then with time, we were working back to back. We found it. He teach me stuff. Then he actually really he helped me find myself. Shout out to Zaki Amujei. He helped me find myself. He helped me. You know when somebody helps you find your own self. Sometimes you have no idea what you can really do. You don't really know the depth of your own power or how powerful you can be or you are. That's why you actually really need positive people around you, pushy people.
So, yeah, you've mentioned this pushy people
pushy
thing,
people.
like
Good
a couple
pushy
times.
ones too.
Right. I imagine this year has also been very challenging for you.
Yeah.
You know, almost, well, literally a meteoric rise, right? Almost literally overnight. Like, met Davido this night, next thing, you know, you're signed and
Out there.
What if any challenges, you know, could you share with us, and how did you get out of it or find yourself through those moments?
Really?
Maybe not doubts, maybe just stress, or maybe just, wow, I'm here.
Yes. In my head, I'm like, okay, you're here, what next? I feel like I'm still on my self-discovery journey. You know yourself better. Never forget to give your own self accolades because it's not easy.
Definitely.
Especially in Lagos, Nigeria. Music and you're stuck in traffic for like 5 hours. And when you get to the studio, your morale still has to be high because you want to give you your best. And sometimes days that you don't even expect to write amazing songs, you just write the best songs. This is where you don't even plan. This is where you're just on in your PJ, wearing your hair bonnet, and you're just chilling. So days like this,
Oh,
I sip my wine.
please.
Very.
And I soak myself in like a nice warm bathtub. I just have cool baths. There are days where you're just like having your moments. You don't really feel like doing nothing. Some days I go like 2 months without recording. I'm probably too sad about something.
But you don't put that pressure on yourself, like, I'm not working.
No. Sometimes I do. But sometimes I'm like, what's the point of me? I like to go to the studio to create something that I want to hear again. If I'm going to the studio to create something that I wouldn't be hyped up about hearing, even in my personal space, so what's the point? So I give myself time to like relax, get into my creative mode, my creative process. I really want people with positive energy too. People that
very important.
People that make you feel good about yourself. People that actually remind you of who you are. Like, you're a badass. You just, some things like take time.